Science calls this intergenerational trauma, but for most of us, it's just the feeling of being stuck in a story that doesn't quite belong to us. Imagine your family history as a river. Every generation adds something. Sometimes it's wisdom and resilience, but sometimes it's pain, grief, or fear. Maybe your ancestors lived through war, famine, displacement, or loss. They survived, but survival has a cost. Sometimes the coping mechanisms they needed, like silence, mistrust, or staying small, become the water you swim in long after the original storm has passed. But here's the hope. Just as trauma can be passed down, so can healing. Hypnosis isn't about forgetting or erasing the past. It's about gently accessing the part of your mind that holds those old patterns, some of which may not even have words, and giving them the chance to be seen, heard, and transformed. Take Anna, not her real name. She lived with a lifelong fear of speaking up. In groups, her voice would vanish. She'd freeze, heart pounding, convinced something terrible would happen if she drew attention. She'd tried therapy, meditation, books. Nothing quite touched this deep old fear. In hypnotherapy, Anna entered a relaxed, open state. We traced her fear back through her childhood, and then, almost like magic, her mind offered up images and feelings that didn't seem to belong to her at all. She saw flashes of a woman hiding in a small house, afraid to be heard. It was her great-grandmother, living in a time and place where speaking out was genuinely dangerous. Anna's body had inherited that fear, even though her life was completely different. Through hypnosis, Anna witnessed this story, honored her ancestors' courage, and gently told her mind and body, "That was then. This is now. I am safe to speak." Over time, her voice returned, not just metaphorically, but literally. She now leads meetings and even started a podcast. Or take David, who always felt a heavy sadness he couldn't explain. He'd wake up with a sense of doom, even when life was objectively good. During hypnosis, David's mind wandered to an old family story, the loss of a child in his grandfather's generation, a grief that had never been spoken aloud. David realized he'd been carrying that grief, like a torch passed down through the years. In trance, he offered compassion to his ancestors and created a ritual of release. That weight finally began to lift. These stories aren't rare. So many of us carry invisible burdens, patterns of scarcity, shame, or hypervigilance that started generations ago. Our families did the best they could with the resources they had, but we don't have to live in their survival mode. Hypnotherapy gives you a way to talk to the part of your mind that remembers things your conscious mind doesn't. It's not about digging up pain for the sake of it. It's about bringing understanding, compassion, and most importantly, choice. You get to decide what you keep, what you heal, and what you pass on. Sometimes the mind works in symbols. You might see a locked door, a river, or a family tree with broken branches. In hypnosis, we work with these images, turning them into doorways for healing. You don't have to relive every detail. Your unconscious knows what you're ready for. When you heal ancestral pain, you're not just freeing yourself, you're changing the story for everyone who comes after you. You're adding something new to that family river: resilience, self-love, hope. If any of this struck a chord or resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps keep these conversations going, and you never know who else might need to hear this today.